There's seats, and we'll get ready to start our program. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome you to National Technical Letter Intent Signing Day.
Today, you're taking a step forward. Career and technical education hold a world of possibilities for your future career.
We want to wish you the best of luck and pass along the congratulations on the choices you're making today and the future successes you're going to achieve.
That success starts today as you embark on this exciting new educational journey in CTE.
Congratulations on participating in this year's National Signing Day for Career and Technical Education.
Welcome to National Signing Day and to your very bright future.
I want to congratulate you on making this important decision.
And I want to thank all the participating colleges for joining us on this very, very special day, recognizing students from all across this United States of the value and the nobleness of technical education.
This was an idea about how to engage directly with young people and bring them into great career fields.
And this event celebrates and recognizes the critical importance of career and technical education.
Today you're signing with a school that's going to prepare you for the quickly changing world of work.
This commitment to become the next generation of skilled professionals places you on the forefront of innovation.
This certificate or degree and the certifications you earn will be the proof your future employer needs to know you'll get the job done right.
You'll not only be ready for the first job, but on a journey for a very successful career.
So your interest in educating yourself not only helps you and your family,
but it's also important to your community and to the nation as a whole.
Today, we celebrate your commitment to become part of that great American legacy.
Congratulations to the schools, instructors, and family members
whose support helped make this momentous day possible.
We are here as industry partners to cheer you on.
Thank you for participating in this important day.
We're very proud of you, and we're very glad you're joining us.
I'm delighted today to join NC3, congratulating students who are signing today for challenge and opportunity tomorrow. Hope has a face. Today that hope begins. Congratulations to all of you. What a great day this is.
Good morning. Oh, we can do better than that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, there we go. I'm Dr. Mike Stroshine, Dean of Washburn Tech. Welcome to the 2023 National Technical Letter Intent Signing Day, an event that started right here 10 years ago at Washburn Tech. Today, we join more than 60 colleges around the country recognizing future students who will soon fill vital roles in our workforce and our communities. Many of our businesses and industry partners are in desperate need of workers with high quality technical skills to meet the needs in the state, region, country, and globally. Together, we are educating students, training the workforce, and strengthening our communities. The opportunities for you today, signees, and some of our signees are here. Many of them will come up throughout the day. They'll be watching us live stream as well until they get here. You have an incredible opportunity, signees, today. Take advantage of them, as your future is extremely bright. And not to brag, you're coming to a pretty awesome college. Washburn University and Washburn Tech is an extraordinary place to start your career. Not to brag, a little bit more, but we are Washburn Tech, the 2023 Post-Secondary Program of the Year from the Associated General Contractors and the National Center for Construction, Education, and Research. You're coming to a great place. At this time, I would like to recognize some of our partners and special guests. I won't be able to recognize all of them, but we have several here today. So please hold your applause until after all guests have been recognized. From Washburn University, Dr. Alan Bierman, Vice President for Strategic Enrollment, Management, and Dean of Student Success and Libraries. Dr. Zach Frank, Dean, School of Applied Studies, and feel free to stand up and wave, and you can sit back down, because people want to know who you are. You are important to all of us. Dr. Laura Stephenson, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Bruce Steinbrock, Advisors Excel, our Masters of Ceremony. Kansas State Senator Kristen O'Shea. Brandy McPherson, Executive Director, Kansas Manufacturing Council. Curtis Needon, who's not with us quite yet, President of Greater Topeka Chamber of Commerce and new Kansas Board of Regents Technical Education Authority TEA member, and that's important because they approve all of our curriculum. Molly Howie, President of Go Topeka. Kevin Ward, Strategic Programs Consultant, Train US. And Chad Seal and Eric Reichert, if you're here, Kansas Army National Guard. If you are an industry partner, would you also please stand or wave to be recognized with our other special guests? They're a little shy. We have about 25 industry partners here today, so let's give our special guests and our partners a round of applause. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Alan Bierman. Dr. Bierman is the Vice President for Strategic Enrollment Management and Dean of Student Success and Libraries at Washburn University. He leads university-wide efforts in student recruitment, access, enrollment, and success through graduation. Dr. Bierman joined Washburn as a lecturer in the Department of History in 2003, Interim Dean of Libraries at Washburn in 2008, before taking the position permanently in 2010. In 2011, Bierman was tapped as the inaugural leader of the University Center for Student Success and Retention. And last fall, he was named Interim Executive Director of Enrollment Management at Washburn. Dr. Bierman earned a bachelor's degree from Murray State University and the University of Kentucky. He also has a master's degree from Murray State and a doctorate from Kansas State. He and his wife, Shelley, who works with our students here at Tech, have 2 children, with the oldest attending Washburn. He has a true passion for Washburn University, connecting the career pathways, and it's a pleasure to have him speak for you all today.
So that was a very long introduction. It was very nice of Mike to do that. My job is really quite simple, though. My job is to help students find their place at Washburn, and that means the entire Washburn community of learning. My job is to help students discover Washburn, come to Washburn, and succeed at Washburn. So I'm in a helping position. My job is to help you students succeed. Start life at this campus. We want you to move to the 17th Street campus perhaps and further your education more. My job is to help you do that. My job is, when you need any kind of help, is to help. It is the greatest job I've ever had in my life. Working at Washburn is an amazing experience. I came here 20 years ago. I'm not originally from Topeka, Kansas. You can probably tell that. I'm not Australian, though. Lots of people in Kansas. Bruce wants me to be an Australian. I'm from London, England. And when I was a small child, 10 years old, I used to dream of living in Topeka, Kansas. But I came to Washburn 20 years ago, and I am living a dream. I really am. And I'm so excited to be here today with students starting to live their dreams, because I know how much life-changing an education is. I'm the first person in my family to go to university. I have 50 first cousins. 3 of us graduated high school. I'm the first person to go to university, and my life was transformed in university. My life was transformed on my post-secondary pathway. And that's what the Washburn University well does. Washburn University, Washburn Tech, and all those component parts of the Washburn experience change lives. It's an absolute pleasure to be here as you begin to live your dream. I'm so excited for the students. I'm excited for the families. And this is a great day. There are few days better than this on the calendar. Perhaps the only better day is commencement. Right? Perhaps the only day better. So there's nothing like your first day when you sign your papers and make your commitment. Perhaps the only better day is when you go through commencement and you get that certificate or that diploma, that degree, and then you move on to what's next. But today is the day where your dreams begin. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to welcome you to the Washburn University community of learning. I'm glad you're here. And just remember, when you need help, you are never alone at Washburn. Never. I mean, I've been 20 years, and the reason I fell in love with Washburn and I stayed at Washburn is because I found out this is the kind of place you are never alone. Faculty, staff, students, there is always someone to walk alongside you and help you fulfill your dream, to live your dream. So let's start living dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bierman. Next, it's my honor to introduce State Senator Kristen O'Shea. Senator O'Shea serves as a Kansas State Senator for Kansas Senate District 18 that includes Shawnee, Pottawatomie, and Wabaunsee counties, a Senate position she has held since 2021. Senator O'Shea serves on the Education, Commerce, and Health Kansas legislative committees. When she isn't serving in the legislature, she owns her own business, O'Shea Strengths Coaching, where she helps others discover and apply their own strengths in both their professional and personal lives, using Gallup strengths and employee engagement. She lives in North Topeka with her husband, toddler, and cats. Please help me welcome Senator O'Shea.
Thank you. Hello from the Kansas State Legislature. There's 40 of us in the Senate from around the state, and then 125 in the House of Representatives from around the state. And we're on a little bit of a break from the Capitol, but we go back Monday. In that building, we talk, and then when we're in our communities, we talk to a lot of businesses, a lot of people. A lot of times we're knocking on doors. And the thing that I hear over and over and over is workforce, workforce, workforce. And that's you. Employers want you so bad. If you walk through the Capitol right now, you would be the rock star, the heroes. You're famous over there, truly. There's such a need in our Kansas communities for you and what you're doing. And so I'm just thrilled to be here today and to help encourage you on this path. I hope you know how wanted you are. Truly, it feels like the thing that we talk about the most as a state legislature. So I do have 3 little tidbits to share with you today of encouragement and advice. Number 1 is stay curious. Ask lots of questions. Soak up as much as you can from this learning experience. Even when you think you understand something, ask more questions. Number 2, you've got 2 hands. So I've got a little toddler right now, 1.5 years old. He's been walking for about 6 months of his life. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of moments where we've got to grab a hand and help guide. So I want you to think about all the people that have helped guide you in your life. Siblings, parents, advisors, maybe career counselors. You're going to have a lot of great instructors here at Washburn Tech who are helping guide you. And so you share these hands and you help guide. But then I want you to think about your other hand. How can you help encourage and guide someone else? How can you encourage the friend who's also considering this program? Or maybe there's someone younger than you. But throughout your life, you want to use both hands. You want to help and then you want to ask for help. So make sure you're using both of those hands. My last thing is that you're going to work really hard for your first employer. But as you continue on this path, I want you to consider owning your own business. That wasn't something that I had thought at all about or thought I would be interested in. But since I've done it, I love it, and I think it's one of the best kept secrets. So you're going to learn some skills and trades, and then you're going to have an opportunity to work for someone and then maybe work for yourself and create a whole new business, maybe hire some of your friends. So just keep that option open as you continue down your path. So finally, you've got a great future ahead of you. You've got the agency and the autonomy to create it. It's yours to create. So I encourage you, keep working hard, and go Bods.
All right. Stay curious. You will work hard, very hard, for your first employer, but you will be equipped when you leave Washburn for that adventure. Thank you, Senator O'Shea, for your steadfast support of education, workforce in Washburn. And the very first time we met, that little one was in her office, so it's exciting to see that our state legislature is open to bring even the youngest there to be part of the process. So I'm so excited for your little one's journey as well. We have a great program for you today, and I'm pleased to turn things over to our MC, Bruce Steinbeck. I'll introduce him real quick. Currently, Bruce serves as Director of Broadcast Development at Advisors Excel. But as most of you know, Bruce, I have such a static personality, it's reacting. So, but as most of you know, Bruce, he has a long history with Washburn University. Most recently served as Assistant Athletic Director at Washburn and was the voice of the Ichabods. Go Bods. For many years, we are fond of referring to him as the Tech Master of Ceremonies. And we are happy he comes back every year. He's been at every single one of these Letter of Intent days since it started 10 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me join Mr. Bruce Steinbrock.
Certainly an exciting day, and one that, 10 years, Clark Coco dreamed this up as an old college basketball coach, that why in the world would we not celebrate tech like we celebrate other facets of life? And so much like signing that letter of intent with a college team and getting to put on a shirt and a hat and have everybody celebrate you, he said, let's dream to do this. And like 300 people responded on the first day that they were coming. And every day he would call me and say, there's 400, there's 530, there's 600 coming. And that was day one. And now it's done around the nation because of a dream started right here at Washburn Tech. So before we start signing, if you are a parent, grandparent, someone here to support your student, would you stand up and be recognized for your leadership getting your student here? We know that you are a great support to those folks who are going to sign today. Mark Stock is going to join me, and he's going to interview a few folks while we do this. So let's do what we came to do, right? And begin signing our letters of intent. The first signees will be in Advanced Systems Technology. You'd please come on up, don your hat, and we will begin signing here for Washburn Tech.
Bruce, is there? Oh, sorry about that. It's sensitive.
Go ahead and sit down, don your hat.
Notice the number of business partners that are supporting this program. This is a very big, largely needed position within our manufacturing community, and we appreciate the support of our business partners and welcome new AST students.
Now, what we also have, and go ahead and pull out your letter of intent and sign away, put on your hat, get a picture. Moms and dads, of course, look at those pictures. We have industry leaders that are here to support this, as well as faculty and staff in Advanced Systems Technology. And so these are the folks that are here to support your students, not only just in the education, but those who may be able to employ them very, very quickly. Moms and dads love to hear that the kids are off the payroll, right? Once they get that job, that's awesome. And certainly what tech education is all about. How exciting was it for the parents to hear, our leaders from the state capitol say, you're the rock stars, you're the ones that businesses want.
And parents, get to know these folks because they will be your employers for your sons and daughters.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize and welcome to Washburn Tech the newest students in Advanced Systems Technology. You've signed. You can go ahead and head on over and be greeted by our folks who are here to lead you into Washburn Tech.
Then we'll have you gentlemen to exit stage left here. Yeah, you go ahead.
Our next round of students are in auto collision. Let's welcome them up to their signing day here at Washburn Tech.
Thank you, Aaron.
How many people have wrecked their car recently? It happens, right? Well, guess what? We're training the next professionals to make sure that your car stays on the road and that you get to keep that car for a little while longer.
Anybody have hail damage last night?
Now, hopefully
These
not.
folks can fix them when they're finished.
Yes, anything to do with, in fact, a family friend, young man graduated from his high school in Washburn Tech the same week. He started his job on Monday. This was several years, about 8 years ago. He's now a leader in that business. But it all started right here at Washburn Tech while he was in high school. And again, graduating high school and Washburn Tech in the same week and going into the workforce. And now does own his own business on the side in addition to that. So that all started right here at Washburn Tech.
Bruce, one of the things these students also will do is work on the cars for the Recycled Rides program, which is an awesome program where we take donated vehicles, fix them up, and then the United Way takes applications and we provide it to needy families that do not have transportation. Congratulations, folks. You can exit stage left.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next students here at Washburn Tech in auto collision. I want to thank our staff here at Washburn Tech as they transition with pens and caps and make sure everything keeps rolling along. Our next signees, we have a couple of rounds of signees in automotive service technicians. So let's welcome those folks up to signing day. So you can crash them up, or maybe you have, an engine that's not running quite right or something that's happening. Well, guess what? You've got folks in automotive service technicians that can take these new cars. And does anybody in the room own an electric car? There might be a couple out there. So again, that's that new wave of cars that these folks are going to continue to train and be ready to service and keep you going on the road.
What's that check engine light mean anyway?
It means put a piece of tape over it and keep driving, right?
And it's how nice is it to be able to have such a large, we got two groups
Yes,
of these.
two rounds of folks who are going to service your cars. And again, an industry in demand, an industry that needs to continue to transition the workforce. And here is the next wave that will be able to do that. And obviously we love it when they live and work right here in our region. Many of the graduates that graduate from the Washburn campus or Washburn Tech live and work right here within a 60-mile radius of Topeka, and we are proud that they make their work right here. So let's welcome the first round of auto service technicians to Washburn Tech. And we have the next wave. How about, again, probably a male-dominated field, auto service tech. We just saw some young women getting involved. You love to see the crossing of paths that, again, folks are stepping up and stepping into a very needed profession, and one that, again, it doesn't matter where you come from or who you are. You can definitely, get that education here at Washburn Tech and transition into the workforce.
And Bruce, one of the other nice things about that is that seeing with this work shortage that we have, this workforce development shortage, non-traditional should be really high on a lot of folks' list to be able to get more folks into the workforce in those non-traditional jobs.
Absolutely. And you think COVID started some people's retirement sooner than they thought, right? And obviously we need that next wave of workers to continue to backfill some of those positions that we absolutely need. I mean, who doesn't want to drive? Who doesn't want to go and do things? And being able to do that helps that we have these young students to get us through and get us moving. Please welcome our next round of auto service technicians to Washburn Tech. All right, our next round of signees, cabinet and millwork. We've got one round of cabinet and millwork as we welcome them up here to Washburn Tech.
Again, a lost craft almost, it seems like, but lots of great, exciting things for these folks' future.
You know, I met a gentleman who made this his life's work, and he works now in our community with building actual handmade cabinets for Habitat for Humanity homes. And he works up at the Restore in North Topeka. But it was, again, he started getting his education, he built cabinets for a living, and he found so much satisfaction after he was near retirement. He came back to our community and is building one-of-a-kind handcrafted cabinets using his life's work to build them for Habitat Humanity homes right here in our region. And so he wanted to give back through that work. But it starts right here. Mom and Dad, do you want some new cabinets? These folks can probably help you out. That's where you're going to start, guys, is you're going to build cabinets at home first to make sure they look good.
And you better please Mom.
I need something like this and this, right?
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, let's welcome our next round of signees, cabinet and millwork here to Washburn Tech. Our next signees are in carpentry. Welcome them up to their signing day.
Bruce, one of the things that I'll mention here is that we have excellent instructors at this college, and David Brazewater is certainly one of them, a nationally recognized instructor and does awesome work, and again, high demand field.
I want you get a comment from Dave there. What does it mean to you, Dave, to teach these young folks? You see that next wave and generation of folks in this industry.
Well, it means that we're making progress. We're graduating more and more students, and we're getting more and more calls from people who want good workers to begin their career.
So that's music to Mom and Dad and everybody's ears, right? They have demand for work, that they want these folks, when they're graduating, they're standing right here ready to say, hey, come join us, which is exciting. And who doesn't need some carpentry work around the home, right? Whatever it is. All right, let's welcome our newest signees in carpentry to Washburn Tech.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, when you work, you got to eat, right? So our next signees will be in culinary arts.
Bruce, these are the folks that provide the aroma factor around here. When they are cooking, it permeates the building. You're saying, I'm going to go down to culinary and see what's going on.
Hey, did you make any mistakes today that I can snack on, right? I baked cookies last night. Does that count to culinary arts? Maybe not. Maybe a little bit. Again, faculty that are in the industry, that are part of that, giving practical application work to the students here and getting that opportunity. Mark, why don't you
Yes, well, I thought that our instructors probably have a few words they'd like to say.
We're proud to have this group, and we are proud to be here. This is a great day.
And again, another industry with high demand.
Yes.
Real shortage.
Well, when you think to the just the hospitality industry in general, there is a backlog of work that is needed. And when you think of being able to, and all of the industries, I mean, even business, we, at Advisors Excel, we have folks that are from culinary that work because we have a cafeteria that serves the staff. So it doesn't mean you just have to be in a restaurant or hotel or something like that. It can be even in business where you have large workforces. They want to feed their employees, so they stay in that building and continue working and get more productive throughout the day. So let's welcome our next round of students to Washburn Tech in culinary arts. Our next signees are in diesel technology, and we have a couple of rounds. So again, the traditional engine and the diesel engine. These are the folks that help keep that product moving across these United States. My daughter worked in Albuquerque, New Mexico for a couple of years, and so I made the trek from Topeka to Albuquerque. And believe me, these folks will be in high demand because we are moving a wealth of product on I-40 along that southern corridor through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and on to the east, or going back to the west. I can tell you that diesel technology is absolutely 100% needed to move goods and services. And then you think of the railroads that need that diesel technology. So anything that moves in the United States largely moves through diesel technology, and that's why it's such a high demand field.
Yes, Bruce, and the other thing that goes along with that, and one of the things these instructors impart upon these students is they don't have to wrench on a diesel motor. They are equipped with the skills to run a parts counter, a service counter, sales. They actually will have the skills to do any of those.
Yeah, but you
so
think
very versatile.
Any industry, if you're building, you're using diesel. If you're hauling on the railway, you're using diesel. If you are hauling over the road, you're hauling via diesel. And it is an absolutely in-demand need for our country to keep goods and services moving from east to west and west to east. So let's welcome our first round of diesel technology students to Washburn Tech. And we have another round following right in behind them in diesel technology.
Well, I thought you might want to say a few words.
One of the things I enjoy about signing day is one of the instructors here in the diesel program is seeing these young people come in. And even though that we create the environment for them to grow and to change and become so much better in their own personal lives, we as the instructors want to thank you as the parents, because you started all of this, and you can really tell when you sit there and you talk to these young people as we did this morning, just the simple yes sirs and yes ma'ams and the courtesy and the encouragement that they have, the enthusiasm they have, the passion is there. And so even though that we're taking them to the next level in their career, I want to thank all the parents and grandparents and everybody who was a big part of their growing up here. We thank you.
Yeah, and look at, again, industry leaders, faculty, that are here to get these students through to that program completion. And then if they want to go on to university, fantastic. If they want to go into industry, obviously awesome, and they'll have folks that can hire them. Let's welcome our next round of diesel technology students to Washburn Tech. All right, we have another couple rounds for our next path, and that is early childhood education. Early childhood education, and we will welcome the first of two in early childhood education up to signing day here at Washburn Tech.
Appreciate you. Good job, guys.
Bruce, we talk about an industry with a shortage.
100%. Yeah, you think, and again, I work at a firm here in Topeka that has a younger workforce that is definitely growing. In fact, they put up a couple of parking spots for pregnant moms so that they would have a close space closer to the building, that they didn't have to walk halfway across the parking lot to get there. But early childhood education, you think of, moms and dads are working. So for them to be in the workforce, they've got to have someone care for children. And it's such a needed industry. And we have a wealth of places here in town. But again, some of those folks are getting to the point that they want to retire. We need that next wave of students that want to come in behind them.
And Tammy does a great job in educating these students, getting them ready. Any comments you want to make, Tammy?
We're very excited right now because these students will be the beginning of our inaugural year for a 2-year program, which will even more prepare them for the workforce. So we're very excited about the changes that we're making to this program, and we're so very excited to have this wonderful group of students join us on this journey.
So let us welcome the first wave of 2 in early childhood education to Washburn Tech. Welcome.
Well, the other thing that goes along with that, Bruce, if you can find a daycare slot, you want somebody very well qualified caring for your young ones.
No question. And obviously, you think of early childhood education is so much looked on now to prepare them to start school. When I was growing up, if you were in daycare, right, what you did was largely, play. You didn't do a lot of activity. Obviously, today, we're trying to prepare these kids not only emotionally and structurally to work with others, but also to get some early foundation to their education. And so as times change, it's just that social interaction and everything that they need to do in that early childhood development that really is critical as they continue to grow and progress and learn to work with others.
And think about starting off the youngsters at that early age sets them on the path for great things, and that takes these folks to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Let's welcome our next round of early childhood education students to Washburn Tech. Our next round of signees are in electrical technology. We got to keep the lights on.
I was going to say shocking, but I probably shouldn't. But, again, a very needed trade with lots of opportunity. And again, an excellent program as they're coming up. Mr. Mullins, would you you want to say anything about the industry, about the students?
Do I want to talk? Is that what Yeah, we had more contractors reach out this year to fill job openings than we have since I've been here, in the 4 years I've been here. So We currently work with 17 different contractors, and that list has grown this year to numbers I couldn't even count at the moment. So job openings are in abundance, and success is inevitable for these guys if they keep to it and learn what they need to learn in 1 year with us.
So did you hear that? 17 electrical or contractors reaching out, 17, saying we need your students. In fact, they'd probably like to sign them today to an agreement. Once you get your degree, let's go. Let's light the candle. And that's exciting when you're in that path to know that you have a job when you are finished. Let us welcome the next round of students to Washburn Tech, this in electrical technology. Our next round of students are in EMT and AEMT, our emergency first responders, as Foundations of Healthcare. Is that the EMR? Yes, we have one in the Foundations of Healthcare, EMR. So those folks who, again, have raised their hand and say, I want to be on the front line in responding to medical situations. And obviously, any community needs these folks foundationally. We can't exist here if we don't have people that can respond to those emergencies. Yes, please put your hat on. I know it might mess up your hair.
Well, it's nice to see that encouragement from parents and saying, hey.
Hey, it's actually one time an adult says, you can wear your hat in the building, right? Usually we're saying take them off, but today you get to wear your hat in the building.
Very good. I think you guys are ready to go.
Let's welcome our EMR, EMR students to Washburn Tech here on National Technical Letter of Intent Signing Day. Our next round of students are in engineering, drafting, and design. We have one round of signees.
There's many architectural engineering firms in town that are in big, big need, and this program helps fill that need.
You know, it's been interesting, and I know several of the architect firms here in town and their leadership. And the one thing, obviously, now in society that we're looking to do is take and repurpose buildings that are there. In fact, one architect that I know has been traveling across the country repurposing hotels. Obviously, during COVID, you know, some hotels had to shut down. We just didn't have the business for it, right? They're rehabbing those and making them into apartments for lower income or those who have the need for, you know, kind of a level. Obviously, you've already got elevators, you've got them accessible, and they are repurposing these buildings to still make them a fabric of the community, not lose that infrastructure, but make them efficient for citizens. So let's welcome our next round of students, engineering, drafting, and design. You know, our next round of students, and Dr. Schroeshine, I'm sure he's excited to see this. This is a group of students who will transition from us here at Washburn Tech to, as Dr. Bierman talked about a while ago, and that is transitioning to the campus at 17th and Washburn, 21st and Washburn, it's all that area, but making the transition from Washburn Tech to Washburn University. And this, Mark, is again, the value of the partnership with Washburn, that you can get your education here at Washburn Tech, and if you want that 4-year degree, that you know, next step in education, you can make that transition to Washburn University.
That's right, Bruce, and it's one of the unique things, and again, started here basically at Washburn Tech. This affiliation gives that additional pathway that a lot of technical colleges cannot do. And so it's so exciting to see that hey, we are going to go on and we want to pursue higher degrees, higher education, and apply both skills, if you will.
So ladies and gentlemen, would you please help us welcome the transitioning students from Washburn Tech to Washburn University. And you love to see that full table of transitioning students from Tech to the Washburn campus. Our next round of students, we have a couple rounds in cosmetology. Because if you look good, you feel good. Thank you.
It's amazing to see the size of this program and the enthusiasm with these students. If you get a chance and you need a haircut or other services, stop by and see them.
And Mark, you know, and it was back when Clark Coco was here, and it was there was a college, if you will, that was decided to shut the doors, right? And they left students who had already paid their tuition to them. They left them holding an empty bag. And Clark Coco got together with the leadership at Washburn University, and they said, we're not going to let those students be holding an empty bag. We're going to fill them up. And this program survives because of that. And it is, to me, it's truly one of the great saving graces of this partnership between the university and Washburn Tech, that these students get to go here because there was a vision that we saw the need. We didn't want to let those students left holding an empty bag, and this program continues to shine today.
And if I remember correctly, I think Mrs. Farley still goes to cosmetology to have her hair done to this day. Congratulations.
So welcome our first round of cosmetology students to Washburn Tech. And we do, it is one of the largest, not only certificate paths here at Washburn, but in the Midwest and in the nation is the cosmetology school here at Washburn Tech. So you can be proud that the fact that the amount of young folks who are coming and gravitating to the cosmetology path here at Washburn Tech. But here is our next round of cosmetology students to sign their letter of intent on National Technical Letter of Intent Signing Day. So ladies, go ahead and sign away.
Well, and they fit right in with what Senator Shea was saying about starting their own business. Right. Many of these will do that.
Absolutely, because they can learn, they can grow under someone else's leadership, but obviously being able to set your own schedule, being able to, again, get a clientele that they know you know them. Obviously, my hair continues to thin, so it's not as big a deal to me, but my wife isn't going to anyone other than the gal that cuts her hair, period. End of story. And if she left town, there would be drama. Please welcome our next round of cosmetology students to Washburn Tech. Well, we have 3 rounds in our next signee class, and that is the Foundations of Healthcare CNA. So again, we need people to take care of us.
Again, these folks will not have any trouble finding employment at all.
And one thing you will also find, there are a good number of students in this program that will transition to the Washburn campus. Obviously, there is the nursing degree path at Washburn, the School of Nursing, which is, again, this is near and dear to my heart. My mom was a nurse for 40 years, and she served in many capacities, both in industry. She was a plant nurse at the old Beach Aircraft when I grew up. She was a plant nurse at General Battery. She worked at a geriatric doctor's office. She worked traditional hospitaling, both in the birthing center as well as just traditional. I mean, she worked overnights in nursing when we were growing up. So nursing is something that's near and dear to my heart, and we absolutely 100% need these students to continue to thrive.
Yeah, and if any of us have dependents that need care that we have to provide, these are the people it's where the rubber hits the road.
So let's welcome our next round of students, Foundation of Healthcare CNA. It's round 1 of 3.
There again, Bruce, you think about the number of care facilities in our community and what the need is. And so, again, as many students as there are here, there still will not be a problem.
Yes.
We won't fill that void.
An absolute demand for them. And you think between here in Kansas City, the amount of Washburn graduates that are, and it really, if you go from Manhattan to Kansas City, the number of Washburn Tech students that are filling a void in these communities. Again, you think of 60, 70 miles from Topeka, these are the folks that are helping fill that void in many of the healthcare facilities. And they, again, can go to the traditional campus, go through the nursing path. You know, you see a few young men start to infiltrate. Washburn, 4 years ago, I believe it is now, had the largest male nursing graduating class in the nation. Harvard, or there was an East Coast school, I believe it was Harvard, was touting how many male nurses that they had graduating from their program. Washburn actually beat them. But again, we're the Harvard of the Midwest, so we'll champion that, right? Let's welcome our next round of Foundations in Healthcare CNA students to Washburn Tech. Our next round of students are in graphics technology. No, this is our final round of the CNA and the folks. Sorry about that stuff. Foundations of Healthcare, our final round. I forgot this was the third one of that class. It's our largest class of signing day today, which is awesome. Again, a much needed profession and one that can continue to learn not only here at Washburn, but into Washburn Tech. And Mark, one thing, the simulation labs that we have here at Washburn Tech, you think the evolution of this program, the simulation labs that they are learning on today, continue to better prepare them for what they are about to get into?
Absolutely. Having that kind of state-of-art of environment for them to learn in is so critical. And, of course, we're not stopping with what we have. There's big plans for the future at Washburn.
Yeah, you can definitely know that there are industry leaders behind this profession, making sure that they are staying engaged with our professors. The great partnership that exists between Tech and Washburn University, so that our students, when they hit the workforce, are the ones that are being sought. That industry says, "I want the Washburn student," and they have definitely been coming in droves to both campuses, needing these students. So let's welcome our final round of Foundations of Healthcare CNA, also in phlebotomy and CMA. Okay, perfect. Our next round of signees, we've got one round of them in graphics technology. Mark, I can tell you, graphics technology and Advisors Excel, please welcome them up.
There's a lot more graphics work out here than a lot of people might think or realize. And if Grace wants to say anything about that, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Talking about the industry, the employment, and I'm putting Grace on the spot. She's one of our excellent instructors here, but there is such a demand again.
Well, Mark, I can tell you, so Advisors Excel is over 850 employees, and the largest department is the creative department, and the digital and graphics are probably now growing to be one of the largest factions in the creative workforce at Advisors Excel. What we do on the backside, graphics that are created not only inside the building, but for outside the building. It is an in-demand. We continue to grow the graphics design folks just in our workforce.
Yeah, and some of the work that Grace and her students do for us here at Tech is just phenomenal, and it's like there's a lot of bright minds and excellent tutelage as well.
Let's welcome our next signees, Graphics Technology to Washburn Tech. Now, if you feel good about the climate in the building, well, it's because of our next path, and that is in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, otherwise known as your HVAC. Okay. So our next round of students in HVAC. Pretty popular folks as well. I'm guessing industry leaders are waiting at the doorstep. Kevin's shaking his head. Kevin, why don't you come over and talk to Mark real quick? And just talk about the fact of the demand that exists right now in HVAC.
Yeah, so Trane's a 110-year-old company. We've been a part of this program for 10 years, and the demand has never been greater for obvious reasons. Obviously, all of us live in homes and work in buildings that have HVAC, so that's common. What's different in the last several years is two things. One is the Internet of Things, so the technologies that are connected to the systems in these buildings are now going into service centers, and it's changing the way that we optimize the performance of buildings. The second is what we all just went through, the COVID, and the whole focus on indoor air quality and energy efficiency. So that means the federal money that's never been bigger is flowing into programs to update these systems in the building. So for many decades, we're going to have tremendous growth in this field.
And what's Trane's tagline? You can't stop a train. Let's welcome our next round of students, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, HVAC, to Washburn Tech. And our next students to file in are in Industrial Production Technician, So Information Systems Technology, yes, the IST folks, Information Systems Technology.
Thanks for saying that. What isn't ran by computers these days?
Well, I don't know, I'll ask Alexa, right? Yeah. I mean, think of everything from your car, your cell phone, just the technology that continues to evolve. And again, you need professors that can teach the students and get them learning the latest technology. This is, I mean, if you think you knew what your technology was, you're probably 6 months behind.
Yeah, and I saw a meme recently that said Moses was the original one that brought down from the cloud with a tablet.
Ba-dum-bum.
But again, a field that is not going away is only going to be ever so more dependent.
Evolve. Absolutely. Workforces don't survive without it. Let's welcome our next students in Information Systems Technology to Washburn Tech.
Well, Bruce, you remember the days probably like I do, being an older person, that
you're calling me old now?
No, but we remember working without computers. But if your computer's down these days, it's hard to get work done. It's hard to be productive. It's almost impossible. Yes.
Steph, I'm sorry, I missed who.
This is
machine
tool.
All right, just making sure. Machine Tool Technology. We have the Certificate A, Certificate C program, and we have. I mean, I want to be backed up by those folks right there, right?
Amen. And again, almost kind of a lost art. But Richard, you got any comments to make about the industry and the employment situation?
We need plenty of employees. All of our representatives here are hiring.
It's growing. A lot of stuff's coming back home. So.
And for mom and dad, just know that, boy, I tell you what, again, so much demand, so much need those skills in the workplace. And so excited to see students joining this program and an outstanding instructor.
I might say that
And
this
it is
young
not
man,
easy.
I was going to say that this young man might just go ahead and turn around and sign a letter of intent to join a business.
Yeah. And as you can see, the competition for these skills is everybody needs it.
Let's welcome our student in machine tool technology to Washburn Tech. All right, our next round of students, plumbing technology. You know, Mark, I don't know if you ever started a plumbing project at your house thinking you could do the work. I did early in my, marriage, thinking, I got to show my wife I can do something, that I'm good for something. 3 trips to the hardware store later, I might have gotten the project done, and then I called somebody a couple of weeks later to come fix my mess.
Almost guaranteed every plumbing project is like that. Absolutely. And you think about the different things you might try to do at home, plumbing is always last on my list.
Yeah.
That's why you got to know folks like Quentin and his students. And we're so pleased to have Quentin as the instructor. We started this program last fall, and it's been outstanding.
Well, and I would bet, Quentin, that you have industry leaders wanting, on your doorstep saying, hey, how many students do you have coming?
Almost daily.
Yeah. I mean, you think the crafts and the trades, they need this. It doesn't mean if you're building a big building, you're building homes, or you're just servicing what's there. The infrastructure continues to age. It has to be serviced. Please welcome our next student, plumbing technology to Washburn Tech. And our next folks are in welding, and we have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 rounds of welding signees here today. Boy, and you think of this, and I remember the very first class. I was downstairs before signing day talking to a young man, and he wanted to go into underwater welding. He wanted to go to the coast. And I'm like, you actually want to strap on like a suit, sink in the water, and weld like on bridges in San Francisco. He's like, oh, yeah, it'd be awesome. I'm like, ooh. But thank God there are people like that, right? That have that desire to do that style of welding. And so it starts here at Washburn Tech. And I know that BNSF uses a lot of folks from our welding program here all across the trades that absolutely need welding. And it is a true skill.
And you can tell by the number of business and industry partners that are supporting this program that it is high demand across the board.
Business and industry, raise your hand if you need workers. Both hands. There you go. I like it. All right, let's welcome the first of 4 rounds of signees in welding to Washburn Tech.
The other part of that, Bruce, is that it seems like that, even the welding industry, that there's some emerging technologies that are coming through, and it's fascinating to watch the new techniques and being able to provide that kind of instruction to the students. And again, as you can see, large program, turning out a lot of qualified welders.
And an industry in the region that needs these students. And again, great instruction here. I remember I worked during a summer in college where, again, a guy showed me how to weld and trying to get the beat, all the technique that you have to try and get down. And I did it for a summer and never did it again. But it is a skill. You certainly have to have some patience, which I do not have. I'm redhead, so no patience. I will own that all day long. But you have to have some patience if you're gonna jump into this.
And these folks do really have the world by the tail, because there's how many different dozen places that they could go work
Well, but again,
right here in this area.
Look at the folks in the industry that right now are saying we need you. I mean, putting both hands up and saying, please come work for us.
And it's so rewarding to see such a large group of welding students. I know that the welding instructors have their hands full, but they do an awesome job with it.
So let us welcome the second wave of welding students to Washburn Tech.
Dan, I'll put you on the spot. Is there anything you want to say about the industry, about the students?
You're looking at 250, 300,000 welders that needed in the next 10 years.
Oh, say that again, 250 to 300,000?
In the next 10 years.
Yikes.
James, you want to add to that?
In the industry, if you guys are willing to work and you guys are putting in the time, I guarantee you we'll get you out in that industry. So.
And well paid.
Well paid, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the starting pay because of demand. I mean, we're a supply-side economic society. Supply is in low demand, so when we get the students, their demand is high, their pay goes up commensurate with that. And that's how it works. So let's sign away. We have our next round up here, round 3 of 4 in welding. Why don't we chat with one of the industry folks and talk about the demand that you have right now.
Jamie says, walk on by her.
Yeah.
So
you put both hands up. Come on.
Who wants to talk about welders?
Please.
At Smucker, we're always looking for additional welders, MIG, TIG, arc welding. It is definitely a skill. Lots of people do it in high school and they never do it again.
Yep.
But they're literally what keeps our industries running.
And so much needed, but they'll will learn all of that here and in a very short time and be out and be productive and helping out our business partners. And like I say, they've got the world in front of them. It's theirs for the taking. And so we appreciate the parents again and for sending them our way.
Well, let's welcome our third round of welding signees to Washburn Tech. And as we said, we have 4 rounds of welding students. Apparently, the word got out there was 250 to 300,000 workers needed in the next few years.
And here again, it's so awesome to see, Bruce, some females in a non-traditional, some of the best welders. I'd say I'll look for the instructors for concurrence about some of the female students they've had.
We have female students getting placed right now. Currently, I have a few in my class that I have jobs lined up for them right now. And the companies that are looking to hire them are eager and excited to bring them in and work alongside some of the other females that are working in the industry.
So from the instruction side, talk about just, as you are trying to get that practical application in front of them and stressing to them how important it is that you get that knowledge now so that you can start immediately and continue to grow.
Well, like I said, if you're here to work and you get into this class, you pay attention and keep on task, you'll learn each and every single one of these welding processes, and each and every single one of them is useful for each and every single one of these welding companies. So it doesn't matter which process, you're going to learn them all, and you're going to, whatever industry you want to go into, near the end, we will try to fine-tune those skills towards that industry.
Awesome. Well, let's welcome our final round of welding signees to Washburn Tech. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for joining us virtually as well. We hope you've enjoyed National Technical Letter of Intent Signing Day number 10 here at Washburn Tech.
No, you're fine.
Thank you again.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Brandy.
it.
No, thank you
Matt
for
coming back after the sign.
Mhm.
Our time's supposed to be 10:50.
we're going to be more ahead of the game next year.
Oh, no
So-
problem.